One of the biggest challenges I think in Hong Kong for startups is the cost of living. It's very, very expensive. Being a very convenient place to do business, it's also created a lot of demand from people to have real estate and to, investing here. So that's kind of driven the rent costs up pretty high. So while you might be able to get cheaper food or some of the basics, to actually have a comfortable place to live, you're going to be paying a lot of money. I think the biggest cost is going to be your rent, and you can, as an entrepreneur, I think you should be willing to not need the nicest place because you want to focus on working on your business and living in your house. Yeah, I think basically I tell people at least 2,000 US a month to kind of live in Hong Kong, and I don't think you'll be living the most outrageous lifestyle. I think that's a pretty tight budget. A lot of people wonder why Hong Kong, why should I set up my business or do my startup here? I think there's a lot of advantages to look at. One is, I think the internet is amazing. It's one of the fastest internets in the world. You have China at your doorstep while also having really amazing speeds. Also, it's a financial capital of Asia with tons of banking solutions and more fintech opportunities, as well as a hotbed for e-commerce, logistics companies and fulfillment companies, as well as rather still similar to the Western legal and English practices that you might be familiar with in your home country, as well as, of course, a lower corporate tax rate, and the government is very, very rich with expensive real estate, and they're not as urgent to try to take money from small startup businesses like maybe what be happening in the Western world. Some of the main challenges of starting a Hong Kong company actually nowadays is the financials. Getting banking and credit cards has become more and more difficult. That's another reason that I started this business, was a lot of people still don't know about the bookkeeping and how to keep track of their financial reports, and there's something called an audit that's required in Hong Kong for the businesses. So a lot of times people don't fully understand that, and a lot of the agencies and accountants in Hong Kong either don't want to be transparent, or they don't use like blogs and online marketing to be clear. So that's where I've come into play, is I'm trying to make it much more clear. The startup scene, I think there's lots of opportunities in certain sectors, like in import-export, e-commerce, logistics, kind of like the traditional business getting interrupted a lot. There's lots of startups coming here in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is known to be like a trading port between China and the world, and there's still lower taxes here and lower regulations than doing a lot of this logistics directly in mainland China. So there's lots of logistics opportunities here. Also fintech, we were talking about, while it's getting a little bit more difficult with financials, there's also opportunities for startups to disrupt the financial markets and create more services and solutions for that industry. Because there's a lot of headquartered global banks here, there's lots of opportunities to get to know those institutions.